What's going on, guys? Charles Weinraub, AKA the Handsome Homebuyer, and today we're going to discuss how much will my flip sell for. All right, so how much will my flip sell for? Okay, so before we get into this, I'm going to just drop some knowledge on you guys, talk about some different tools, things to consider, but I think it's very, very important for everybody to understand that evaluating real estate is as much an art as it is a science. And there's no right or wrong way. It's similar to any kind of communication, body language, whatever it is, meaning there's not one right way. It's a bunch of little things that you're picking up together is what gives you your after repair value in your mind, what you think it's gonna sell for. Right? So essentially, there's things that I want you guys, tools that I want you guys to use, methods that I want you guys to understand, and things that I want you guys to remember when ultimately trying to figure out what your fix and flip property is gonna sell for. Now, before we get into this, your ARV is a number. It's not a range, it's a number. It's 425, 450, 500, 575, whatever it is a number. When you're figuring out your maximum allowable offer, you're gonna start at an after repair value number, not a range, and make all the deductions in order to get to your maximum allowable offer. And the numbers don't lie, it is what it is. Never get emotional about a deal or making an offer. So, tools that you're gonna need. Stratus. Stratus is massively important. You either need to be a realtor yourself to have access to it, or you have to have great relationships with realtors that will pull information for you. But Stratus is an unbelievable tool, okay? When you are on Stratus, you can pull any and every data, under contracts, what's sold, any period of time, houses that have sold on certain streets. It has everything and everything you need. With that said, and I have access to that, I still use other things sometimes because sometimes Stratus isn't perfect. It misses something. You're looking for, a sale that may have happened off market, or for some reason something that didn't get recorded in public record. Every realtor that's watching this knows that sometimes they'll search for a house in public record on Stratus, and for some reason it won't be there. Another great tool is Geo Data, or Geo for sure. So Geo Data Plus is like $600 or $700 for the entire year. Great information. It has zoning information on it. It shows, list pendencies and things on properties that sometimes doesn't come up on public record. It's a very, very good tool, a very good resource. You can run comparables on there. It'll give you square footage and things on a lot of properties where MLS won't. So it's a very, very good thing. Also, Zillow, listen, I do use Zillow in certain capacities. If I am looking to comp out a house and there's not a lot of comps around, I might go to Zillow, put the address in, see what's sold in that area. Sometimes other houses pop up that for some reason didn't pop up on Stratus or didn't pop up on Geo Data. So like I was saying before, very, very important to use a bunch of different tools and you get information from all of them, and then you collectively come up with your after repair value. So there's a couple different methods, obviously, but one particular method that I was taught, which is interesting to kind of know, and I don't want you guys to just use this as the end all be all, it's just something that has helped me in the past, which is mean and median. So mean means the average and the median is the middle. So if you're in a market where there's a lot of activity and a lot of properties have been selling that are your style property, you would go into, let's say, a Stratus, and you would say, okay, I'm selling a 3 to 4 bedroom Cape in Seaford with a basement that's roughly 1,200 square feet. What's the mean, the median, the mode for all those houses that sold? And let's say 20 houses come up. A lot of times what people have used in certain markets, and I've used this myself, and it's been very successful, is you take the median, which is essentially the middle number, and then you increase that by 5%. So any fully renovated house will sell for 5% more than the median in that area for a similar type of home. Now, you can't totally rely on something like that because maybe you don't have enough comps. Maybe the houses that sold were in really shitty condition or in really, really good condition. You don't really know. So, but it's just an interesting way to kind of look at things and change it up. Again, we're using a bunch of different methods to ultimately come up with a number that we feel keeps being reinforced in our mind. So there's things that I want you guys to remember, and there's things I want you guys to account for, okay? School district. On Long Island, and the boroughs not as much, but on Long Island, people buy school district. That's it. So if you're in East Patchogue, but you're in Patchogue schools or you're in Bellport schools, very, very, very different ball game. School district is king on Long Island, okay? Pockets also, everybody needs to understand. You need to understand the dynamic of a neighborhood because there are different pockets. I'll give you an example. I'm doing a house right now in South Setauket. So in Setauket, it's 3 village schools, but the section where this particular house is most people refer to it as Center Reach. And because of that, it sells for less than a house that's a half a mile up the street, a little bit north, still in South Setauket, still in the same school district. So there's different pockets, proximity to other towns in different pockets that are very important. So make sure that when you're doing a comparable review, comparable analysis, you do a map view and you see where the houses are. If you're starting to notice clusters of houses selling for big money in certain areas, there's obviously something going on in those areas, okay? Square footage of a house is very, very, very important. A lot of the data isn't out there, especially in Suffolk County. It's difficult, but you have to work as hard as you can to try and find out what the square footage is, because obviously there's a big difference between a 900 square foot ranch and a 1,500 square foot ranch. I'm not saying that you have to break it down like an appraiser to a per square foot price, but be conscious of the fact that more square footage most of the time, not all the time, yields more money. Lot size. Lot size is very important. Depending on where you are, depending on what the standard lot size is, if you have a small lot, you may get less depending on the people that are coming into that town. If you have a big lot and it's uncharacteristic of that neighborhood, you may get significantly more. You have to budget in for either a deduction or a premium because of that, okay? The type of lot that you have. Is it a corner lot? Is it, you know, what is it shaped like? Is it shaped like a pie? Is it a funny shaped lot? Those are the things you have to understand. The road that it's on. Is it on a busy road? Is it on like a super, super busy, like a LIE service road? Is it just a regular double yellow line? Is it on Merrick Road? Is it a beautiful, quiet street? All those things have an impact. So when I'm doing an after repair value, I'm factoring off of the quiet, nice, ideal road scenario, and then I make deductions based on negative locations or based on roads that are a little bit busier. Because here's the thing, someone's gonna buy a house anywhere. It doesn't matter where it is. I could sell a house next to a train, in front of a funeral home, in front of a cemetery, you know, with a place that's pouring toxic waste into the ground across the street in 5 minutes at the right number. You just have to budget for that, okay? Like I say, negative location, all the things we were just talking about. If you're next to a gas station or if you're on a busy road or whatever it is, those things will sell fast. You just need a deduction, okay? And speaking of deductions usually range anywhere from 2 to 20%, depending on the severity of the negative location and the combination of them. So let's say corner houses receive a deduction. Busy roads receive a deduction. If you have a corner house with a small side yard or no side yard on a busy road, you're gonna get a double deduction. You have to think to yourself, how much less does somebody have to pay in order to, or is willing to pay in order to live in this location? If they're gonna spend $450 to have that beautiful 100 by 100 on that tree-lined street, and they're gonna pay $450 for that, what are they gonna pay to be in the same school district, in the exact same house, but on a busy road or on a corner or across the street from a cemetery or whatever it might be? So, like I said, much an art as it is a science. There's no, definite way of doing this, but these are just some methods, some tools, and some things to consider when you're figuring out what your ARV is. As always, we appreciate you watching. If you're still watching, please click that subscribe button, ring the bell, comment below. We always want to get the feedback from people, and we're happy to make videos on anything you guys want. We're an open book. We'll see you on the next one.